Alright guys, so this here is my brand new Toyota Fishbowl, and it's a beautiful truck, but the windows are so clear, people can see what I'm thinking at red lights, and yeah, we should probably fix that. So what I did was bought a roll of tint from Amazon for $85. I bought a 100-foot roll by 24 inches in height. United Professional Window Film. We have some highlights right here on the box: heat rejection, UV protection, glare reduction, color stable, scratch resistant, because this here is a 2-layer film, 2-ply film, carbon 5%, 24-inch by 100 feet of film for $85. Too cheap to pass on, so had to check it out, and we're gonna get right to it. They have a phone number here too, and a website and all that stuff, man. So it's a legit tint company. I'm going to go ahead and throw it here on the Tundra and get rid of this this fishbowl situation, because it's not a good look. All right guys, what I've done so far is lined up the bottom edge of the tint to the bottom of the glass, overlapping it like maybe ½ an inch below that gasket. Now what I'm gonna do is cut the left side and then pull it over like ½ an inch, cut the front side, pull it back forward about 1/4 of an inch, and then cut the top part of the tint. Follow the line all the way down. Perfect. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull the tint about ½ an inch over to the left. So now I cut the front edge. Now I'm gonna slide the tint forward just a little bit. All right, you guys can see right where I cut the top edge and the front edge. I'm gonna connect those two cuts together with a nice little soft round edge. I'm gonna keep going straight on that one, and then a nice gentle curve straight down. Boom. Let's get it, guys. Now I'm gonna go from the bottom to the top. Okay, let's roll it up. Squeeze out the bottom. The passenger side window is done, and dude, this came out like 95% perfect. It's not, there's a couple specks of dust up here on the top part of the film, and I know why that happened too, and it's because the tint, when I peeled it and stuck on the inside of the window, it did make contact with the inside of the door right there. So I have a new technique for the driver's side window we'll get to right now. But aside from that, I mean, it's probably nothing you guys can even notice, to be honest. I mean, there's like one little speck, I think it was right there, and then one right there, and there's a couple here and there. But once the tint dries, I should be able to use a hard card and just kind of file that down, and that should pretty much take care of that. But yeah, as far as the film goes so far, I mean, obviously it's not in the sun right now, so I can't get the full experience of what this is gonna look like, but at least not yet. But so far it does have a really nice color to it. It has a nice charcoal finish to it, which looks super good. And the install was super simple, man. That heat shrinking on this film was really, really easy, especially compared to the eBay film I used before. That stuff was a nightmare to heat shrink, and this one was super easy. First of all, I'm not a professional tinter. I don't do tint. I've practiced tint like maybe 3 or 4 times, and it was always with generic, unbranded tint. And using this stuff was like a night and day difference when it came to the install. But if there's one thing I learned when practicing with this film so far, or the films in the past, is preparation is definitely the most important thing. Making sure you get into all the crevices and get all of the debris out of every area that is in or around the window. That goes for the door panel, the window surround, inside and outside of the door. Everything needs to be thoroughly wiped down. So I then wiped the window down numerous times to make sure that all of the debris was off of the glass. So when installing the tint on the driver's side window compared to the passenger side, I did something a little bit different here to make the job a little cleaner, right? So I tacked the tint onto the window and did my first cut there on the right side of the glass, and then removed the excess tint. After that, I pulled the tint back towards me, overlapping the edge of the window to make sure we have full coverage under the seal. Then I moved to the front part of the window and then did my cut on the front edge, and just made sure that we had that part nice and straight with the edge of the window. And then I pulled the tint forward about 1/4 inch to make sure we have full coverage, tacked the film on the window again, and then I pulled the window down a couple of inches, and then did a nice clean cut there on the top edge of the glass. Then after that, I rounded off all the edges to make sure we don't have any like hard corners or any excess film that we don't want, like that part right there. Couldn't really get to it where the tint was initially positioned, so pulled it off the window, repositioned it, and then did the corner cuts right there. Nice thing too is we can use the tools here to give us a straight edge in case we didn't accomplish that first time around. So let's go ahead and do that right here in the bottom corner. All right, cool, man. Okay. Time to heat shrink. This is where this tint shines over the generic film I've tried in the past, the unbranded stuff, because that stuff would not heat shrink at all, like barely at all. And this stuff heat shrank in like 30 seconds, so super easy. Here's where I did something different on the driver's side compared to the other window that I first did on the passenger side. I pulled the liner only halfway down, right? And then I pulled the tint off of the outside of the glass, put it on the inside now. Then I installed it on the top half of the glass first, instead of doing the lower half on the other side first, and also peeling the entire liner off. This side, the lower half is still protected by the liner. As you guys can see right there on the lower half of the tint, we have the liner still attached to the tint, and then tacked down the top portion of the tint, and then I rolled the window up and then peeled the rest of the liner off. Then I pushed the bottom half of the tint behind the door panel, sprayed on more solution, and squeegeed the film onto the glass, pushing all of the excess solution down out of the window film, and that was pretty much all there was to it. When it came to doing a better job than the other side, man, it was like perfectly free of debris, which was awesome. So there you go. Dude, not one speck of dust, my guy. Watch this. So satisfying. Bam. Push all those little air bubbles out. So one thing I learned is you need to push all of the wrinklage up and down. Don't push it out left and right. Make sure you get all the wrinkles pushed down or up, and you're golden. What the heck, dude? I just tinted my front two windows basically perfectly. But remember, we only peel down halfway. It's like a true charcoal. Is it coming through on camera properly?
Yeah, not kind of, but it's better in person.
In person, yeah. It's like a true like light black, and not, you know, there's no like blue tint to it or pink or green or
no rainbow colors.
Yeah, no colors, no colors.
Needed a bath anyways, right?
Dude, my truck's filthy, man. I'm yet to wash my truck one time since owning it in about a month.
Wait, where have you taken it though?
To Starbucks and back, pretty much. Wipe down everything around the window too, because Tint loves to pull in all the debris around it, so.
No more.
Look at that, dude.
Gone.
Insane, right?
Yes, sir.
One and done.
One and done.
One major key here is to spray it right away. once you peel the liner back. Otherwise, more prone to dust getting pulled in. Show them these little fingers right here we have popping up, right? We got one there, we got one there, there's one here on the sides also.
Oh man, fingers.
So there's one I think down here too. So these little ones are really easy to get out once we install it. It's no problem at all. We don't have to have the tint like perfectly heat shrink before installing it. These ones right here are pretty easy to get out after the fact.
Specific name for fingers, phalanges.
Oh, aren't you smart?
I learned something in school, I guess.
Nice. One more right here.
Over there. Over right there in the corner.
Yep.
I can't see. My eyes are bad.
Gonzo. First of all, let's admire the look of the truck now. Compared to no tint to having tint, dude, it's an absolute just like complete makeover almost. Like it took the whole truck and put it together with the whole blacked out look. Now with the wheels blacked out, the body, and now the windows. Looks really, really good together, man. So as far as the tint goes, dude, I am blown away at how easy this film is to install. I've done a few cars in the past. I've tried to practice and get good at it, but it never really worked out because I was using the wrong film the entire time. I was using generic, you know, unbranded, either pre-cut film from eBay or, you know, similar, and it just wouldn't work with me. I remember asking my friends who do window tint for a living, like, dude, why can't I shrink window tint film? I don't get it. And they were like, well, buy quality film and then you'll have a better time heat shrinking it. And sure enough, that was the entire problem, was using junk film. This one here installed really easy in terms of the heat shrinking. Oh my gosh, dude, it was like night and day from that eBay film. You guys remember I did the windows on my Grand Cherokee with the pre-cut eBay tint, and the whole car was like 35 bucks pre-cut, no windshield, all the sides and the rear window. For like 30, 35 bucks. It was awful. It wouldn't heat shrink. It was super brittle. I'm pretty sure it was a 1-ply film, and this here is 2-ply. First of all, it helps in itself, but dude, it was it was a nightmare. Like, I remember shrinking it, and then the outer part of the rear window wouldn't even stick anymore. Having a quality film makes tint like either possible or not. Apparently, it came out really, really good. No debris hardly at all, except for a little bit. You guys can see it right there. Focus. Yeah, right there. Boom. My plan initially was to practice with this roll right here and, you know, see how it goes for my, maybe third or fourth time trying tint. And if it doesn't work out, well, hey, it was cheap enough to say we gave it a try, right? And I was not expecting it to actually work out the way it did, because it came out really freaking good. And I was like, oh, it's actually working out pretty good. So now what I plan to do is buy their ceramic film, which is also very cheap. I looked into their website and it was 200 bucks for a 24-inch by 100-foot roll for their 90 to 97% IR blocking film, which is crazy. So the carbon film here does do a decent job at blocking the IR. Carbon film's kind of the middle grade between the dyed film and ceramic. The carbon's like right in the middle, so it's more affordable. I'm pretty stoked for a practice roll, man. Your boy killed it. So I'm gonna hop inside here and show you guys the cut I did, because I'm kind of impressed with myself. Not gonna lie one bit, man. Pull that sucker down. I didn't end up doing what I plan to do, which was use this guy right here. It's a filer, which a lot of like the pro tinters use. Is what they'll do is kind of hang the tint off the top edge a little bit, right? And then take this right here and then shave the tint off the edge, so it gives it a super, super clean, like really just right on that edge, factory type of look. But I don't have experience doing that, and I did such a good job on this, and I was like, well, I don't want to mess it up, man, and, you know, file it wrong. I don't know. What I did was I cut the film using the edge of the glass, and then heat shrink it on the inside, and then push the tint right up to the edge of the glass, minus like maybe 1/10 of an inch. And honestly, it looks really, really clean that way. The cut's super clean, so I was like, well, we'll do it that way. It's my first time like doing this for real, so baby steps, right? But I would say the most difficult part of laying down some tint is getting it on nice and clean without getting any debris between the tint and the glass inside of the window. And dude, this came out so freaking clean. We have some nice charcoal tint going on here, man. No blue color to it, no purple, no pink, no green, no yellow, no colors to it at all. just charcoal, and boy does it look really freaking good. So in terms of the install, if anybody out there wants a good film to practice with, and if it goes well, end up leaving it on your car's windows, well, I think United is a great brand to try out. They're on Amazon. You can go to their website as well. They have all these options from 1-ply films to 2-ply films, standard dyed films, carbon films, which I have on the truck right now is the carbon film. The main difference between carbon film and dyed film and ceramic film is the performance you get in terms of the heat rejection or the IR rejection. The carbon film I have on the truck right now blocks about 30 to 35% of the IR compared to the ceramic film. Their top of the line ceramic film blocks 90 to 97% of the IR. So big difference right there in terms of performance with the heat rejection. This stuff has a lifetime warranty with it from the manufacturer. So it's peace of mind right there for sure on everything except for the install area pretty much. Yeah, dude, I mean, it's just, you can't beat the price. I've tried using film in the past, which was always the generic unbranded eBay stuff. And that stuff does not really want to work with you really at all. My first time doing like a legit job on any car, and I'm freaking pumped, dude. So I guess they can stay on. That was not what I planned to do, is keep my tint on my truck that I did myself, but it worked out. So we're good. Now what I'm gonna do is buy more tint in the form of ceramic and redo it in the future. I'm gonna buy a whole roll of tint from their website and then maybe even do some chameleon tint. Ooh, like a red or a purple on the windshield. Maybe. I've never really done wet installs. I'm really good at vinyl wrapping. As you guys have seen many of times, I've wrapped all of my own trucks. Except for my last one, but I've wrapped pretty much every other truck I've had for the most part, at least in the recent years. My Raptor, all my Tundras, except for the Platinum. So that I'm pretty good at. But when it comes to wet installs, I've never really had a good experience, at least with the eBay films. And I learned now that the entire reason was because it's bad film. You live and learn. Now, I might be getting more mature these days, growing up, right? And just making different moves in life. That being said, what I'm gonna do is buy a roll of 15% tint and redo the front windows and all the windows, just to make it that much more perfect. Remove like that little speck of dust here in the front window and just redo the entire truck just for more practice pretty much. But I'm gonna do 15%, which is one step lighter than the 5% tint. That means 5% of the light gets through the window and it blocks out 95% of the light. And then so going 15% means that 85% of light can get in. So it's a little bit lighter, still kind of on the darker side, but a lot easier to deal with just on a daily basis, because dude, having 5% tint, it does look really good in the daytime, but when the sun goes down is a totally different story. And for me, 15% is pretty workable at nighttime while leaving them up, but 5% is like nearly impossible normally, at least. So maybe I'm just kind of growing up a little bit, but I've done all the types of tints. I've done 2 layers of tint on the front too. I've done windshield in dark films and light films. I've done every like shade of film pretty much on my vehicles, and I would say at this point I am kind of over having the limo tint on the back window especially. Oh my gosh, dude, it's so freaking dark on the outside. You can't see a thing in there, and I love that. I love the privacy. I love the stealth look to it, and complements the entire truck really well. I love the look of it. The aesthetic is there, but I don't like the function of it. Driving my truck daily, I'm over it. So I'm gonna take it a step down and do either a 15 or maybe even a 20%, because they offer both shades on United's website. And we'll see. I don't know. I'll link it down below for you guys if you guys want to buy a roll for yourself. Browse our site and get you some stuff too. I recommend it. Big thumbs up, man. For those who aren't aware of what it's like driving with 5% tint, well, here you go in the daytime. No big deal, right? Easy. It's nothing, even over the factory tint. Nothing. Easy. Fully transparent. But nighttime though, different story. I'm getting some groceries really quick. Let me show you guys what life's like in this parking lot with some pretty dark tint. Let's go ahead and back this thing up and see if we need to roll the windows down and see out these mirrors when parking. I don't think so, but let's see. Yeah, might be a good idea. Who am I kidding? 5% is dark. For the slip solution, I use baby shampoo. I know a lot of professional tinters use Dawn dish soap, but a lot of them also use baby shampoo because it's a gentle solution as compared to Dawn dish soap, which is made for degreasing dishes. Also too, I reached out to United on Instagram. They have a pretty active Instagram account. Apparently they are a family run business out of New York and do a lot of their shipping to tint shops actually. So a lot of tint shops actually use their film. I think it's a great price for the quality, and apparently other tint shops think so too. I'm not an experienced tinter. I don't really have a lot of experience comparing professional tints, which a lot of these bigger brand names of tint, professional line of films require you to have to be a dealer for their brand. And so it's cool being able to buy some film that's of professional quality as the general public, man. So, and for a great price too. And explain to me also is they focus more on doing volume sales and not making all their money off each roll. I use the Centurion 2-ply nanocarbon window film, has an IRR of 30 plus, not going to be as good as a ceramic film because the carbon film is the sort of middle ground between dyed film and ceramic film. So it's right in the middle in terms of the performance as far as heat rejection goes, but it has a lifetime warranty. Looks like they've sold over 1 million units. This is a 2-ply nanocarbon 1.5 mils in thickness film. So I did Tim's front 2 windows already, and I'm gonna do his back half of his car here in the next day or two. He left me his 4Runner for the remainder of the week while he's in Texas seeing our boy Kevin. So Tim, you done messed up, bro. I'm gonna throw a pink wrap on it now. I'm gonna supercharge it, throw some 40s on it. I'm just kidding. But I am doing some stuff to the 4Runner at some point this week. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I have some new lights going in the garage here pretty soon. I have my hex lights from Amazon. I'll do one section here and then one section there and then one section up front as well and light the garage up properly, which will be sick. And then redo my windows in the ceramic film that I'll probably buy today and then get the truck redone in ceramic. But yeah, man, in the meantime, all I have for you guys for today. So I'll see you guys on the next one very soon. Peace.